That tingle that starts at the base of your neck, the one that spiders down your spine and raises the hair on your arms, it's a feeling triggered by sound waves hitting your eardrum. By the end of this, you will understand the exact neurological war being fought inside your skull during your favorite song. You'll know why a simple chord change can feel as powerful as a physical touch. And this process reveals a core mechanic of your brain, one that governs how you experience surprise, pleasure, and even your own sense of self. This physical reaction has a name: Frisson. It's a French word for shiver, and it's a ghost. A biological echo from a time when survival depended on reacting instantly to a snap in the undergrowth. When you get goosebumps, or piloerection, your sympathetic nervous system is kicking into gear. This is your body's ancient alarm bell, the same system that floods you with adrenaline, quickens your heart, and prepares you to either fight a predator or run from it. The tiny muscles at the base of each hair follicle contract, making your hair stand on end. For our furrier ancestors, this had two benefits. It trapped a layer of air for insulation against a sudden chill, and it made them look bigger and more intimidating to a threat. It's a primal involuntary response, a relic. Your body is preparing for a physical confrontation or a sudden drop in temperature. And yet, there you are, perfectly safe in your car or your living room, listening to a piece of music. There is no predator. There is no blizzard. There is only a melody. This presents a deep biological puzzle. Why would a stimulus associated with beauty, emotion, and art trigger a physiological response hardwired for fear and survival? The answer begins with understanding what your brain is doing every single second of the day. It's predicting the future. Your brain is a relentless prediction engine. It survives by creating a constant, running simulation of what's about to happen next. It does this with everything. When you reach for a door handle, your brain predicts its temperature and texture. When you listen to someone speak, your brain is already guessing their next word. This process is so efficient, you only notice it when it fails. You only notice the prediction when the door handle is unexpectedly hot, or a person uses a word you never saw coming. Music is a perfect playground for this predictive system. Every piece of music you've ever heard has trained your auditory cortex. It's learned the rules. It knows how melodies rise and fall. It understands the tension of a certain chord and anticipates its resolution into a more stable one. It internalizes rhythms, expects the downbeat, and feels the pattern of a chorus returning. Your brain becomes a silent collaborator with the musician, humming along just ahead of the sound, predicting each coming note based on a lifetime of listening. Most of the time, the predictions are correct. The song follows the rules. It's pleasant, but forgettable. The chills happen when the music breaks the rules. Artfully, it happens when a singer's voice suddenly leaps an octave higher than you expected. It happens when a quiet string section is suddenly shattered by a blast from the brass, or when a familiar chord progression resolves in an unexpected, dissonant way. In that moment, your brain's prediction fails. A prediction error flashes through your neural circuits. For a split second, your primitive brain, the part that evolved on the savannah, registers this sudden, unpredictable event as a potential threat. The alarm bell rings. That's the goosebumps. That's the ancient survival circuit waking up. But that's only half the story. The initial fear response is immediately followed by something else, a cognitive reappraisal. Your higher level brain, the prefrontal cortex, instantly assesses the situation and sends out an all-clear signal. It recognizes there is no lion in the grass, there is no danger, it's just music. This rapid sequence, a sudden, unexpected stimulus creating a brief fear response, followed immediately by the conscious realization of safety, is the key. That feeling of relief, of resolving confusion into safety, triggers a massive flood of dopamine in the brain's reward center. This is where the nucleus accumbens comes in. It's a key node in our brain's reward circuitry, a region that lights up when we experience things essential for survival and procreation. Food, water, sex, social connection. It delivers a jolt of dopamine that tells your body, that was good, do it again. This system is designed to reinforce life-sustaining behaviors. But music has found a back door. It has learned how to hijack this ancient reward system. It creates a tiny, controlled threat by violating your predictions, and then gives you a powerful dopamine reward for figuring out it was a false alarm. The chills, the frisson, are the physical sensation of these two systems firing in concert. It's the feeling of your survival instincts and your pleasure centers being activated at the very same time. You are feeling a hint of fear and a wave of euphoria, all at once. The tension is the violated prediction. The release is the dopamine. This process explains the mechanism, but it brings up another question. Why can you experience profound chills from a song while the person next to you feels nothing at all? For years, this was attributed to personality or emotional sensitivity. The answer is much more direct. It's a physical difference in the brain's wiring. A 2016 study led by Matthew Sachs at the University of Southern California used a type of brain scan called diffusion tensor imaging, or DTI, to map the neural connections inside participants' brains. DTI is like creating a wiring diagram for the brain's white matter, showing the information highways that connect different regions. The researchers found a consistent structural difference in people who regularly experience musical frisson. They had a greater volume of neural fibers connecting their auditory cortex to their anterior insular cortex. Let's break that down. The auditory cortex is the part of your brain that processes raw sound. It deciphers pitch, timbre, and rhythm. The anterior insular cortex is a hub for processing emotion and integrating it with bodily sensations. It's the part of the brain that helps you feel your own heartbeat, the part that generates that gut feeling about a situation. So, people who get chills from music literally have a more robust, higher bandwidth connection between the part of their brain that hears the music and the part that generates deep-seated emotion and physical feelings. The sound is translated into emotion more efficiently and more intensely. The emotional signal isn't getting filtered as much. It's a direct line. One could argue this is simply a correlation that listening to music with deep emotional intent causes these pathways to grow stronger over time, a concept known as neuroplasticity. That's certainly part of the feedback loop. But the consistency of this finding suggests a pre-existing sensitivity. Some people are born with a slightly different neural architecture that makes them more susceptible to this powerful experience. Their hardware is primed for frisson, but if the hardware is different, what's the software? Are there universal triggers in music that can reliably exploit this connection? Composers and musicians, through centuries of trial and error, have discovered the universal keys to our predictive brain. They are masters of managing our expectations. The most common triggers for frisson are all built on this principle of tension and release. A sudden change in volume from very quiet to very loud shatters our predictive model of the song's energy level. The entry of a new instrument, especially a human voice or a soaring violin, introduces a new, unexpected texture. But one of the most powerful triggers is a specific musical device called an appoggiatura. It's a type of grace note that clashes with the main melody, creating a moment of intense dissonance, before resolving into a note that feels correct and harmonious. That moment of dissonance is a deliberate prediction error. The composer creates a problem, a feeling of being off-key and unstable, just so they can resolve it a moment later. That resolution provides a powerful dopamine release. Each of these devices, the sudden crescendo, the harmonic shift, the dissonant note, is a miniature narrative arc. They build suspense, create a climax by breaking a pattern, and then offer a satisfying conclusion. Music that gives us chills is telling us a story in a language our brain's predictive, emotional, and reward systems can understand perfectly. The chills are our body's applause for a story well told. Ultimately, musical frisson is a beautiful accident of our evolution. It's a sophisticated cognitive event born from a primitive survival reflex. It's your ancient brain, the one that kept your ancestors alive, having a brief, intense conversation with your modern analytical mind. The goosebumps are the old brain shouting a warning. The shiver of pleasure is your conscious self whispering back that everything is fine. It's a testament to the brain's remarkable ability to repurpose its own circuitry, turning a system designed to detect predators into one that can appreciate poetry and sound. This same mechanism, this dance between prediction and surprise, is what makes a great plot twist so satisfying. It's what gives a well-crafted joke its punch. Your brain is fundamentally wired to seek out patterns, and it experiences a unique form of pleasure when those patterns are broken in a clever and unexpected way. And this same deep craving for patterns is the same engine that lets us see faces in the clouds and find meaning in pure coincidence, which is a different kind of neural hijack entirely.